Bonjour tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Welcome to my channel. Bienvenue sur la chaîne. So I hope everything is fine with you. And for today we will be doing le passé composé et l'imparfait. And I hope at the end of this video you will just master the use of le passé composé and l'imparfait and how to use them in sentences. So let's start. C'est parti. First of all, we will be doing le passé composé. What is le passé composé? L'action terminée. When the action is already happened in the past and it is not happening now, we have just talked about that in the past. At that time, we will be using le passé composé. Now see here, le passé composé sert à parler d'une action terminée dans le passé. The action which we have spoken about in the past and just already finished. For that, we will be using le passé composé. Now, action concrète. Concrete actions, the actions like that which for which we have talked about in the past, the action which has some goal or some value in after you have done that. Now here concrete actions basically means that the actions which have some value, which has some goal. So that action that you have talked about in the past has also been used here. So you can also use these with the passive composite that even more complete like events which has already completed, then fair consular receipt, that you have recited something narrative in the past. So for all of these, we use le passé composé. Basically, it is action which has already happened in the past, and you are not talking about that in the present. At that time, we use le passé composé. Now, here's the example. Hier, j'ai regardé un film. Yesterday, I watched a film. So now here, j'ai regardé a film. It has already happened in the past. We are not talking about it now. We are talking about it in the past. Here, yesterday. So for that, we have used here the passé composé. Now, how to form the passé composé? La formule de l'action, the structure. Here you can see where parti, eta. So first one is sujet, subject. Subject you already know, show, tu, illel, nugu, illel. After that, auxiliaire. Auxiliaire means you will be either using avoir or être or present. The conjugations of avoir or être with present. So you will be using them. Third one is participe passé. So now how to form participe passé? See here. La transformation de participe passé verb régulier. So the regular verbs, how do we form participe passé of them? Les verbes er. In this you have to just cut er and then you have to add ending e apostrophe. See here visite, we have cut er, then we have add ending e, visite. Les verbes are. The second group of verbs ir. In this we cut ir and then we add I. Finir, fini. Here we have cut ir and then we have add just I. So finir is fini. Third group of verbs, le verbo ari. It is a place with you. Here repons, see repons. In this it is ari, we will cut ari and then we will add you. So it will be repontiu. So that's how you form participe passé according to first group of verbs, second group and third. There are some irregular ones also, but for regular ones, the rule is fixed like this. For like er, it is ego, you then accent, then ir, I, re, u. Okay. And here, like I have written here, avoir or être or présent, but there are some verbs with which you use être and with some you use avoir. But with the majority of them, you use avoir verb. And there are some verbs which we call la maison d'être, the house of être verbs, we use for describing things in with être verb in the past. Now let's show the auxiliary. Avoir with how do we choose? So like I've already said that la majorité des verbes, the majority of the verbs are used with avoir. Now here see participe passé irregular, some irregular verbs which doesn't follow that rule that we have done in third slide. So here avoir is eu, être, été, faire, fait, dire, dit, prendre, pris, voir, view. Okay, just ignore this one. These are just mistakes. So we have to just learn them with by heart because this doesn't follow the participe passé rule. Now second is être, where with the momo plus pronominal. So here the movement verbs are usually movement verbs usually came in être verb. and pronomino, you already know. So verbs. Attention, il faut faire l'accord avec le sujet. Attention, it is necessary to make the accords also. Like in our verb, we don't use any accords. In this, we have to use. Like if there is feminine, we have to use E. If there is plural, then S. Then feminine plural, ES. So we have to just see the sentence. If it is feminine word there, then we have to add E after the participe passé or S or ES. It depends on the structure of the sentence. So pronominal verbs are also used here. Pronominal is verbs with which there is S apostrophe or so. With that also we use verb. Now here are some verbs. Like I have said, la maison d'être. This is the la maison d'être, the house of verbs. And with these verbs we use être only when we make sentence in passive composé. So these are naître, devenir. Devenir is to become. Mourir, to die. Monter, descendre, rester, to stay. Tomber, fall. Arriver, entrer. Aller, go. Sortir, partir. Venir, revenir. Rentrer, retourner, et passer. So with all these verbs we use être one. You have to just learn them. That with which one we use être and which doesn't come in this house, we use our verb with them. So now let's do l'imparfait. We have already done like what is passé composé now. Now let's do l'imparfait. What is l'imparfait? L'imparfait is when we are talking about something in the past and which is still going on, which hasn't yet completed, or we are describing something in the past, or we are just like talking about some habits of ours in the past, or some we are describing something like context. We are describing some story also of ours in the past, which we used to do. It is like a habit or some emotional. It is also like we are describing our sentiments in the past. Like I was afraid, I was not confident. So this type of thing sentences also we use with the imperfect. Now see here, utilisez pour la description les habitudes ou le contexte d'une action passée. Okay. So I have already said la description, l'habitude, habits, le contexte d'une action passée. Okay. Décor et situation, describing about some situation in the past. Habitude dans le passé, habits. État physique, physical state, et emotional state. So let's see here example. Quand j'étais jeune, j'allais à la plage. When I was young, I used to go to the beach. Now here we are describing, like we are memorizing something, you can say. We are saying that when I was young, I used to go to the beach. So we are just memorizing that thing. At that time, I used to go there. No? So that's why we have used here l'imparfait. Now, what is the structure of l'imparfait? La mécanique de l'imparfait. Présent. Prenez la forme nous au présent. We will take the nous form first, in the present form. Nous parlons, nous sortons. With nous, we used always ONS. You already know. Nous sortons ONS. So, soustraction. Now, retire la termination. Now, we will here cut ONS. And what will be remaining? Part. P-A-R-L-S-O-R-T. And after that, we will add endings with the addition. Ajouter les terminations de l'imparfait AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. So these are the endings. You have to learn the endings of imparfait. Now we're doing the output. Conjugaison de parler. Okay, we will be taking parler verb. We will taking particularly the nous form of parler. Okay, nous parlons, then we will be cutting nous ONS, then we will be adding endings. So, je parlais, tu parlais, il parlait, nous parlions, vous parliez, il parlait. Okay, so this is the output. This will be the same with all the verbs that we will be doing. You have to just take no form, then you have to cut ONS, then you have to add endings. But here see at and upward verbs are exceptions. Like we have exceptions in passé composé, participe passé aussi, like we have the irregular verbs, and so there are exceptions in this one also. Here the unique exception être verb. The racine a, j'étais, here we doesn't follow that rule, like no, we have to take no, and then we have to cut ONS, no. Here see j'étais. Tu étais, il était, and then it is like the same. Étions, étiez, okay. Now see, let's see here the example, the description, like I have said, we use l'imparfait to describe something as well. So, elle était blonde et avait les yeux bleus. She was blonde and had the blue eyes. And had blue eyes. Okay. Ave is l'imparfait of what? Elle portait a pull blue. She was wearing a blue sweater. Here you can see sweater. She was wearing a blue sweater. So yeah, yeah. Here we have taken porte, P-O-R-T-E-R, porte verb. And as you can see, we have got ONS porto and then we have had ending AIT according to subject. Now third is l'habitude. When we talk about some habit also. Je marchais 10 kilomètres tous les jours. I used to walk 10 kilometers every day. So it is an habit in the past. Now let's juvenate, like I have already said, memorize something. Autant de mon enfance, je vivais dans un petit village. At the time of my childhood, I used to live in a small village. So we are just memorizing something. For that also we use empathy. Now, la maîtrise de décision, lequel choisir. Now, how to choose from both of them. Now we know what is passé composé and what is imparfait. How to choose between them, it just depends. Like for passé composé, action concrète, successive, and truth. We have already done that, the action which has already finished in the past. For imparfait, it's not the same. The action must be still going on. It has started in the past and is still going on. So for that, we use imparfait, but in passé composé, the action is already completed. See, in imperfect description, habitude, action simultané on arrière-plan. Arrière-plan is background. Okay. So when action is still going on or we are describing something, we are describing our habits, we are memorizing something, souvenir. So for that we use imparfait, and if nothing is like that, then we use passive composé when the event has already completed. In imparfait, we also talk about our sentiments in the past, our emotions. Now see here, connector temporal for passé composé, hier, soudain, tout à coup, ensuite et une fois. And for imparfait, avant, suivant, d'habitude, toujours, pendant. Okay. When these connector temporal are there, then you will be able to guess that it is passé composé or imparfait. Or you can also guess by if the action has already completed, then it is passé composé. If the action is still going on, or if it is describing something in the past, describing our habits, or talking about some sentiments, emotions, then it will surely be imparfait. Now, when we join together both the l'imparfait and passé composé, how will the sentence go? Sono 12 situations. Il pleuvait quand la téléphone a sonné. Now, il pleuvait symbolizes here the situation. What is the situation there? See here, arrière plan background. L'imparfait plante le décor. So here, what is the situation? Il pleuvait. When we talk about some weather also in the past, like it was, we use always imparfait. Il pleuvait. It was raining. Mostly we use imparfait. We can use passé composé also, but it depends on the structure of the sentence as well. Il pleuvait. It was raining. So here the situation is it was raining when the telephone a sonné and the telephone rang. So here the action is which has already happened in the past. What is that? It is the telephone a sonné already. So le passé composé introduce l'action. Here the action is introduced. Okay. So it was raining when the telephone rang. Now second here is see le vent soufflait fort quand la neige a commencé à tomber. Now the wind was blowing strongly when the snow started to fall. Now here what is the action? The snow started to fall. When, what is the situation there? When the wind was blowing strongly. Okay, so now I hope you have understood how to use both of them. Even I have shown both of them how to use in one sentence. So now that's it for the video. Merci beaucoup pour regarder. If you have any problem, you can just let me know in the comment sections. I hope you don't have any problem, but still if you have, you can just let me know and I will clear you all doubts. And see here one phrase, maîtriser le passé, c'est maîtriser l'art de l'histoire. If you will master the past, like you will master the past tense or how to write in the past, then you will master the art of the history. Okay. So now that's it for today. If you like my video, don't forget to follow and share and comment. And thank you. We will meet in the next video and take care. À bientôt. Au revoir.